All right, hey everybody, welcome to the Q&A. We got quite a few questions in the group. There's not a lot of people here, so if anybody has any questions, they can come on video or type in the chat. We can answer, go over anything you want. I can share my screen, show you, anything you want to cover. Or we can just get into some questions that were posted in the group. Let's see, we got a couple of call-ins that need to be muted. Okay, there we go. All right. Are you with us, Valerie? Somewhere?
Yep, I am.
Okay. I think you had some questions from the group.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I just got the invite. All right. So the first question that we had was from Renee, and she says, when scouting, what do you recommend for an ROI? So obviously, she says 100% would be great, but unrealistic. So what do you recommend for an ROI? And if it has a better rank, what percentage do you suggest looking for?
Personally, I don't think that 100% ROI is unrealistic. I only buy things that are at least 100% ROI. So, 100% is not unrealistic to me. As far as what to, define things to look for, I think the rest of the question,
if it has like a better rank.
If it has a better rank, what percentage? A lot of people go down to 20 or 30%. Some people only start at 50%. Personally, I think if you're taking less than 100%, that you're being lazy, because I don't have a problem finding items at 100%. But a lot of people think too. So, if you're running out of money before you're running out of, stuff to buy, then maybe it's too low. If you have a lot of money left over when you get paid again, then maybe you might want to think about lowering your ROI, but that never happens to me. I run out of money way before, I get paid again. So, if that's happening, then you're doing the right thing. You have to get out there and look harder. You have to follow all the sourcing ideas that I give you, which is if you're looking for replenishables, go into whatever store you're looking for, if it's a Walmart or a grocery store, and pick an aisle, pick a section, and start at the top and scan everything on that shelf until you get to the bottom. And that's really the only way that you're going to do it.
Hey, Sean.
Yes?
Quick question. This is Josh. So the scanning every item on the shelf, that's something I haven't yet done, just because I've heard people say to do it, and then I've heard people say it's, they did it and it was a waste of time and they did an entire store. So, is there a section, say, to maybe start in, and then maybe on the same flip side, is there a section that you would just totally avoid when using that rule?
Not really. Finding replenishables, I find everything, really. A lot of good areas are looking in spices and looking in sauces, and condiments are great, because no matter what area you're in, there's all kinds of different things. I like to look at the labels to see, what's regional. If it's manufactured in an area that you happen to be in, then there's a good chance that it's not everywhere nationally. That's why I like looking at some of the smaller regional chains and individual grocery stores or department stores.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you with me, Valerie?
I am. Are you ready for the next question if nobody else wants to jump in?
Just a minute. I'm having an audio problem.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I don't want to stop you from.
Right. Okay, I guess I fixed it. Turn it back up again. Thank you. All right, so continuing on that same question, what to find, if you go, when you're looking at labels, when you find something that's regional, I would recommend, looking into other products that are being manufactured by that same company. And you might find a lot of other things. Just because, one item might be in a Walmart, their whole line might not be there. So you might want to check into the manufacturer, find local distributors, or even local stores you can buy it at retail. Now I think I'm on the next question.
Okay. Johnny had said, so he lives in an area where there aren't many liquidation sources. So he's kind of hit, I think, what everybody hits, that some are profitable, some aren't. But of the few he's found, he says that he's had fantastic margins. What else can he be doing or searching for to find these liquidators?
Okay, is this the person that was in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think I posted about 6 or 8 actual
right?
locations that were in Oklahoma from our book that's coming out. We basically used Google and we contacted those locations to make sure they were open, in the right location. If you just do a little searching, you'll find. I just posted a video this morning, about using Google to find liquidation stores, find scratch and dent stores. If you just search for your area, they are out there. I mean, we found them in almost every state of the country. And some have a lot. And if you can find them, look them up on Facebook. And as soon as you like them, you're gonna get a lot more being recommended to you. All you have to do is research it. It's really easy. I've got a lot of experience with Google. If you can't find something, contact me or contact Valerie and post, post in the group, and we'll do our best to help you find something in your area, because they're almost everywhere. It's very cheap to rent a location in a rundown area and buy a $5,000 truckload, and you have a store open. So it's very common for these stores to open. And, it's a lot better for people starting out and people selling on Amazon, especially, because we can go in there and just pick the few items that are worth selling. Because when you go into these places, you have to remember that it's not like going to Walmart. It's the majority of the things are either going to be damaged or out of date. So don't go in there expecting to find 50 items. It's not worth driving 200 or 300 miles just to find it. So, you need to take, it in stride and understand that, it's not going to be, a huge source of a wide variety of items. You might only find a few items, but, they might have a whole pallet full of what you can use. So once you do find that item, talk to them. This business is all about building relationships, and you need to let these people, I've heard a few reports of people not liking resellers, but if they're doing that, they're probably not selling online. And if they are selling online, they're going to tell you they don't want you there. which is great because if they're selling it online, there's not going to be anything to find. So, if you can see a manager, or it's usually the person who owns it that's running it for most of the smaller ones. So, talk to them, tell them you buy online, you're selling online, and that you're willing to buy, everything of a certain item, if it's worth selling. And the ones that I deal with in my area call me when there's something available. So, that's where you want to get to. You want to build relationships, if it's retail or wholesale or liquidation, or even a retail liquidation scratch and dent type store. You want to build those relationships with the management, because they're going to contact you when they get the stuff. They're trying to sell things, and they're not, this isn't a hidden business where you have to be deceptive. There's a business where when you build relationships, it's really going to help you, because they're going to come back and they're going to call you when the stuff comes in, because you can come pick it all up, and then they'll have room or they'll have money for more. And, that's all they want, is to move their stuff just like we do.
Right. That kind of leads into Rita's question in the group. She said, is it okay to ask them to ship it right to their house? So that kind of builds on that. And I think you have that, right? I mean, you've had people that you've built relationships with. They call you before they even take it to their warehouse and say, hey, I have this, do you want it? And then they'll bring it right to where you guys are at, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to hit on what Cheryl was saying, that, she's offended if I'm calling her lazy. I'm not trying to offend people, but I'm trying to teach you how it works. So, you shouldn't want to find less than 100% ROI. I know it's a lot of work. I did the same thing. I started with literally nothing. I sold items that I had around my house and kept reinvesting the money, and went to yard sales and flea markets and thrift stores just to reinvest the money to get to where I'm at now. So, and I've never accepted less than 100% ROI. If that's what works for you, then it's fine. But, if I can't double my money, it's really not worth all the trouble, to make 10 or 20 or 30%. If you have $100,000 to invest every month, then making 10 or 20% might be okay. But, if you have 100% ROI, you're doubling your money. If you're not doing that, then you're really not making much, because you still have shipping fees. You still have your time to pay. If you're only paying yourself $5 an hour, then it might not be worth doing this business. Because it takes a lot of time to list and ship these items and pack them. So, you really need to get yourself to a point where you can make 100%. All the online deals that we were posting were getting right around 100%. Some may have been 80 or 90%, but a lot of them were well over 100%. And that's what we post in the group. And you should be using that, as a stepping stone for what to look for. If one item is selling and you're making 100%, you need to be looking at the other items in that line. Other styles, other brands from the same manufacturer, because if you can double or triple your money on that item, you can do the same thing on all the other items. The point of this group is to teach everyone else and help them to do it the way that I'm doing it, because what I'm doing, seems to work. So I'm trying to help other people not to offend anybody.
Right, absolutely. All right, yeah. So then to just kind of touch on what Rita had said, and I think Cheryl she just got back in, so she just missed all that. But I know that was Cheryl's concern on earlier.
Shipping to our house. I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it will. She wants to know if it's okay to ask a liquidator to do so if they have items. Can she ask them to ship it directly?
I don't think that has much to do with the liquidator. It's more about the shipper. So if somebody's shipping UPS, or any of the ground type shipments, then I wouldn't even tell them they're shipping to your house. All you have to do is give them an address. If you are doing shipping a pallet, then you still don't have to tell them that it's your house, but you have to tell them that there's no loading dock, because then they're going to deliver a pallet or more. They have to get what's called a lift gate. So they'll use their little pallet jack that's on the truck, and they'll push it onto the lift gate, lower it, and then use the pallet jack to take it to wherever. So if they're unloading it at your garage, it doesn't matter. You're a business, and being a home-based business really has nothing to do with that. It's more of a logistics shipping issue.
Right. I wouldn't be afraid to ask them any questions. So.
Yeah, definitely any liquidator, the bigger they are, or smaller, these individual ones, you might have a problem with, but I've never had a problem telling somebody that I sell on Amazon, as far as liquidators. If I'm at a retail store, it's none of their business what you're doing. Usually the quickest way to shut somebody up is to tell them, if I get a cashier saying, why are you buying all this? I ask them if it matters or why it matters, and they usually don't ask me any more questions. If it's a manager, I'm quick to tell them that I sell online. You don't have to tell them you sell on Amazon, but go ahead and tell them you're a reseller, or anybody who can make decisions. You want them to have this information, because they're going to remember that, and they're going to remember seeing you coming in and buying whole shopping carts from their clearance all the time, and they're going to say, hey, I got this deal in the back. They're all worried about the bottom line, and they get bonuses, most of them, based on how much they sell. So if the item's clearance down to 10 cents, it's still 10 more cents that they're getting, and all that shelf space is very valuable to them. So if they can sell you something they don't even have room to put on the shelf, it's really going to be in their best interest. And that's only upper management, managers, assistant managers. When you get these, I'm not sure even what they're called, but, line managers and department managers, they don't care. All they see is that they have to keep refilling the shelf, and it gives them more work. The head managers are going to be interested in selling as much as they can. The lower managers are going to think about how much work it takes. And it takes, they're paying all these people $10 an hour or more to stock those shelves. And if they don't have to stock those shelves, it's even more money in their pockets.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Ready for the next one?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, you know what I wanted to add on to that? I'm sorry. But with what you actually helped me with was word of mouth. So that was my first step. I'm actually who said that they were in the Chicago area? I don't know who me, Ellen, too is. But there's I'm from the area too, and I'm like in a really small suburb that I just kind of I'm like, there's nothing around here. There's nothing near me, and so forth. And I was just having a conversation with someone that I know about it, and they're like, well, did you ever check out this person? I went and checked out that person, and then got referred to another liquidator that, it wasn't just something on Google that popped out because it was in my area, but it was another store that I had no idea about. When I looked them up on Facebook, like Sean had said, all of a sudden, like at the bottom, 5 more came up. So ask people as well, do you know of any of these stores? And I think, that's another great way of finding, not just Google, just,
Right. And the best way to ask people is, tell them that you're looking for, people might not know them as a scratch and dent store or a liquidation store. So, when you're talking to people, ask them if they know of, a store that, might sell, dented merchandise or merchandise that, is already expired, and that usually jogs their memory if they've been to or have heard of a place like that. And we've had great luck finding a lot of them.
All right, so the next question, that's right in here. So how much grocery, he says, or she says, do you source at liquidation stores? I find that everything is either expired or too damaged. Are you just getting lucky? So I guess the ultimate question may be,
am I just getting lucky? Yeah, I think I do get lucky a lot. But I can't be getting lucky every day. You're in the Chicago suburbs.
yeah.
So, the best, I think we already talked about this, but most of it is going to be expired. It's going to be expired, it's going to be damaged. But like I said, you're looking for items that are, that aren't that way. The majority of the store is going to be that way because that's how they buy it. So, you're looking for the products that aren't. You're only going to find a handful of them, but hopefully that handful is going to be, in large quantity. And if it's not, the way these stores work is they usually buy a whole truckload at a time. It's going to be on a pallet, and it's probably going to be in banana boxes. So when somebody buys something off the shelf, they're just going to get another banana box and unload it and fill the shelf. So most of the stores you can go into every day, and you're going to find new products. You can go in the morning and then come back in the afternoon, and half the store might be different depending on how busy they are. So it's not like going to Walmart when they run out of, A1 steak sauce, they put more A1 steak sauce there. At these stores, they are going to be something completely different.
Okay. Southwestern suburbs. Okay. All right. So then I think that's all. Unless somebody, if you guys have more questions, feel free to add it into the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to the questions that were asked from the group. So Carol says she'd like to know more about how you analyze a potential liquidation purchase for, 1, the price you'll pay / bid for it, and 2, the price you will charge on Amazon for that product.
Well, like I said before, I don't like to take under 100%. If you're lucky, you're going to find manifested items from liquidation. A lot of groceries aren't going to be manifested unless it's a single item. Maybe a whole pallet of diapers or cereal or whatever it is. If you buy in other categories, health and personal care, beauty, or clothes or shoes, usually they're manifested, which means it's a spreadsheet that came from the manufacturer to them of what's on each pallet. So you can take that and run it through software like Scan Powers Evaluate, and I think there's some others on the market. I posted in the group, Scan Power Evaluate. You can do up to 50 for free, and then there's a small charge. So you just upload it, and depending on the size and how busy it is, you usually can get it back within an hour. Sometimes it's a few minutes. And it's going to give you the output of what, with ASINs, and if it's listed on Amazon, and the sales rank, and how much you make after fees, and you can compare that to your original spreadsheet, which is going to have, possibly pricing information, and you can see how much you're going to make on each item. If it's not manifested, you're basically going to have to go by pictures, or if you can go there and scan the actual items, but it's just going to be random items that they took off the shelf. Everything has a shelf life in every store. So most stores have a contract to buy, a certain product. So that's why you see things on the clearance, your clearance shelves that are not expiring for 2 or 3 years. A lot of things at Walgreens, like weight gain, vitamins, things like that, are coming in at still expiring in 2017 or 18. And that's because they have a shelf life in Amazon. I'm sorry, a shelf life to go to the liquidator, because they have a contract with the manufacturer, for example, to buy so much. And when they run out, if they sell it or not, more stuff is coming from the distribution center. So they have to put it on clearance, or they put it in a box in the back that goes onto a pallet that'll go to a liquidator. So, that's where you can find things that are still in date, because they continuously have the products coming from the distribution center. Now, there's another grade of liquidation that's not shelf pulls. There's salvage, then returns, and then shelf pulls. So the shelf pulls are what comes back off. Salvage would be broken, and returns are, of course, returns. But then overstocks are what were bought by the company, but it came from the manufacturer, but it never went to any stores. So, I've bought some pretty big lots and made a lot of money on these kind of things, which are still sealed pallets or smaller lots, but usually it's still a full pallet that's never even been opened from the manufacturer that we can buy. And then, I've sold it at great returns. I bought like 7 pallets of brittle for, about $1,000, and we sold them for $10 to $15 a bag. After all the fees, we still made about $8,000 or $9,000 profit on a $1,000 investment. And I also bought some of the little Dove Promises in the big 40-ounce bags, and nobody had them on Amazon. There was one merchant fulfilled seller on one style and none on the other style. And I paid $3 a bag for them, and they still sold for around $35. I started them at $20 and kept raising the price till it got to $35, and they were still selling 10 to 20 bags a day. And I sold out a whole pallet of them in under a month, because it was right before the cutoff for October for the meltables. So these are optimally what you're looking for, but there's not a lot of that out there. And of course, there's new product as well that they just buy from manufacturers when they manufacture more than they can sell. It just really depends on how you're what liquidators you're getting, what area they're in, because if you're in an area where the distribution center for that chain is, that's where you're going to find the items. Yes, Renee, we post all the replays. It'll be in the pin post in your group. So all you have to do is, find a liquidator, and, hopefully it's in a distribution, where the distribution center for whatever store you're trying to get stuff from. So, luckily I'm in the area of Publix's, all their offices and manufacturing plants are about 15 minutes from where I'm at, and they're all over the Southeast. So, I was buying from a little warehouse that was, my warehouse is actually a little bigger than theirs. And I was buying from them, and they'd have sealed cases of cereal that was brand name, but the outside of the boxes said Publix on it. And I'd see clearance stickers from Publix and return stickers from Publix on a lot of their product. So this is something that everyone can do. I contacted Publix, and I said, I'm a liquidator. Do you have a contract with a liquidation company, or is it or am I able to buy from you direct? So after only about 2 or 3 days, somebody from their customer support contacted me, and they said, we have a contract with this company, and here is their email and website and phone number. So I called them up and said, I sell online, and I'm looking for, Publix gave me your information, and I'm looking for buying directly from the main liquidation. And I was buying from a small company that obviously was buying Publix returns, and they're located in Lakeland, Florida. So he says, yeah, they're probably buying from our Lakeland warehouse. I said, okay, great. And I set up an account with them, and I bought, within about 2 days of talking to them, I had bought about $1,800 worth of product, which was about 3 pallets worth, including Kodak 35 millimeter film. I paid about $1.50 for it, and it's about $11 on Amazon, and only ranked in the top couple thousand was the rank. 2 different kinds. We bought a lot of feminine hygiene products in different brands, a whole pallet of one, and some adult diapers. The adult diapers was the most we paid, for about $4, and they're selling for I think about $19 on Amazon, and they're only ranked maybe 3,000 in health and personal care. So they were all top selling items. They had tons of banana box shelf pulls and returns, that I didn't want, for $6. $6 a box, and it was about 400 and a little under $500 for a whole pallet. And I could have bought all of that I wanted, but I wasn't interested in it. But they had a lot of new product. Some of it was expired, some of it wasn't. And now they email me every time they get a new item in. And this is something you can do locally. Find your local chains of grocery or anything else, and ask them for their liquidation channel, and they'll give you that information, or they'll tell you how to buy from them directly. Places like Walmart do it themselves, and if you want to buy it from a big place like Target, you go to B Stock, which I've posted about several times. Sam's and Walmart does it themselves, and most of the big chains go through B Stock. And the smaller chains are a great opportunity because they have a small liquidation company they're going through, and you can go there. I physically went there, and I was able to look at everything they had, and it was very easy. We sent them a 1-page application that they emailed us, and I think all we had, we did have to do a wire transfer to pay them. So we looked at the product. The guy printed out a spreadsheet of everything we wanted. We called them up with the numbers, and they sent us an invoice, and we wired them the money. And I think within 48 hours of going there, we were able to pick the stuff up. So, there was a little bit of a hassle, but definitely worth it, to make about 10 times our money back overall.
And then a quick question to add on to that was just, do you order the merchandise in person or sight unseen and have it shipped to you?
Well, it's hard to deal with liquidators. There's a lot of liquidators that aren't very reputable. So they could be sending you a picture of, Legos on the top of a pallet, and it's all junk underneath. So, if you can find a place locally, then that's great, but you got to call and talk to them and get a feel for, what kind of a reputation they have. Google the company. People, with social media, people are going to post if they had a bad experience. So, you just have to weigh the good with the bad. Hopefully you can find something regionally. If not, you can always buy from these big places like B Stock, Genco Marketplace, is another big one. Via Trading. These are some of the biggest ones in the country, and I've posted links to them in the group. And what you can do is, the thing with them is, if you have one bad experience, it's not based on the company, because they're not shipping the stuff. They don't get the things from, a big company like Best Buy. What's happening is you order it, and then they send the order on to Best Buy, and a trucking company is going to pick it up, a trucking company will pick it up from them and deliver it directly to you. So, you don't want these things to be going to the liquidate, because what's going to happen is you're going to pay more for shipping. You have to pay for it to get shipped to them, and then they ship it to you. So when you're dealing with all these big companies, some of the stuff they get themselves, but for the most part, you can get things shipped directly from the distribution centers, from the big chains, places like Costco and, B-Stock. I know they do a lot of that, and places like Nordstrom and Kohl's. All these companies are sending directly from the chain. So, remember, if you get one bad pallet, that liquidation, isn't, a judge of a whole company, because they're only selling what they get. You just have to ask the right questions. You have to ask what grade it is. If you don't want returns, you have to tell them you don't want returns, or ask them if it's returns.
Right. I think that covers, there's no other questions on there. So we'll go on with Dan's question, because I'll have to relook at the other one. But how do you deal with companies that say they won't sell to resellers? He's getting kind of a lot of flack from companies. They're holding his gift cards in limbo, so forth. He says,
so he's buying from online arbitrage, and he's doing online arbitrage, and he's buying from, retail companies online like Kohl's, and they don't want to sell to you. So, I don't waste my time buying from them, would be the easy idea. Or, buy in smaller quantities, make multiple orders. You can ship to the same address. Usually they're not tracking that. They're tracking if you're buying 500 of one item or 100 pair of shoes, it's obviously a problem. So, the only option would be to try and buy in smaller batches. Unless they have some kind of rule against having multiple accounts. I'd have a couple of accounts and then do multiple orders on the multiple accounts. It's not worth breaking the rules, because eventually they're going to catch up with you. It's just not worth buying from a company that's going to hold $2,500 worth of gift cards for you for months at a time. How much money are you losing by them holding onto your order? Just cancel that order. Cancel that order, get your money back, and go buy somewhere else. There's so many websites out there to source that. It's not worth fighting over somebody who doesn't want your money.
Right. Rita, we get asked this question all the time. Do we use a repricer tool? Do you use a repricer tool and feedback/review of the service?
Yeah, for repricers, we're trying out a couple options right now. We have, of course, the new one that we've been looking at is Be Cool. It's BQOOL, and we're working out a discount code with them. Of course, they don't have any discounts or anything going with for anything right now. So we're going to be the first. But, we have something in place with them. They're very economically priced. I believe if you buy by the year, it's $22.50 or $25 by the month, and and it handles up to 2,500 items. Right now on our main account, we're using App Eagle, but we try other things on. We have several accounts legally with Amazon, so we're trying some other things with different accounts, just to try out all the features. But for a normal person, that's just starting out, $150 is just too much a month, which is what the plan you really need to use with App Eagle. So with the new Be Cool, it'll handle 2,500 different SKUs. It'll handle 2,500 different SKUs at a time, that you're actively selling on. And the best thing about that is with App Eagle or most of the other ones that will get the buy box for you, when they get the buy box, they stop repricing. So if somebody's $5 or $6 higher than you, you could still go, within a few percent of their price and still have the buy box. But the repricers aren't repricing. So that's the best option about Be Cool right now. What they're doing is, if you have the buy box for 10 and there's somebody selling at, let's say, 16, it will reprice to a couple pennies below that. And if you lose the buy box, it'll drop it down till you get the buy box again. And, it'll keep working so you can keep the buy box as long as it's in your range, of course. But not only are you getting the buy box, but you're getting the buy box at the highest price, which is in everybody's best interest. It's BQOOL.
Right.
.com. And I think Cheryl asked how many accounts do we have? We have I have 2 accounts myself, and other people on my team also have accounts. So sometimes we'll just suspend our main tools to try something else out. What we say the easiest way right now is to get more than one is to get approved in sexual wellness and tell them that you don't want your baby products to be sold, right next to your sexual wellness products. And I've never heard of anybody having a problem by doing that. There's some other options, and that's not what we did. What we did was I told them that I had a business partner, and I wanted to open a new account for my business partner. So we had the 2 businesses that were separate. Another option that's worked for a lot of people is to tell them, that you're launching a private label product and you don't want your other arbitrage opportunities mixed with your new product line. So all of these have worked time after time. You have to have good metrics. I had perfect metrics, and I've always been 100% on my account. So I think all of these options will work, but you have to remember you're paying for a repricer twice. You're paying for, if you're using Scan Power Inventory Lab, you're paying for that twice. You have to deal with everything you have to deal on your account. You have to deal with it on a separate account. So it's double the work, and most people really don't need 2 accounts, but that's some of the ways you can get it. We're testing out a lot of tools that so we can review them for everybody. And Be Cool's one. There's a lot of repricers. There's a lot of software for doing feedback and doing online arbitrage. So we're just going through everything so we can make more videos walking you through them, and you can decide on your own which ones you want to do. The chat is not saved. That's why we reference all the questions, into the video.
But that is recorded, Liz, just so you know, again. All right. So Joshua he says, analyzing potential purchases using Camel or Keepa. He says he's seen people like leaving Walmart with 5 or more carts, so he's lucky to fill up a basket. How is, using these tools assisting that?
Sure. Well, the reason why you can only find one card and they can find five is probably because they're taking, a lower ROI. They might be happy with making, $2 on a $10 purchase. And, you want to double your money or make a 50% return or, whatever your business is. Everybody has a different business model. So, just because they're selling $100,000 a month doesn't mean they're doubling their money or, making a 50% return. I've made some good videos on how to use Camel, Keepa. I really like Price Sound as well. We can go through looking at how many sales you get at a certain rank, and we can show you how to use those tools.
Yeah, there's plenty of videos on.
Yeah. So if we go to Keepa, and I'll just show you, we'll come up with a product as an example. Luxury beauty is a new category that you have to be careful of too. If when you're when you're scouting, you want to be careful of items in luxury beauty. Most of those you have to be approved for each product line. So every brand you have to be pre-approved in. So we'll just pick an item here. Olive oil sold by Amazon. It's ranked 640. Look at some other items here as well. So this product, using Camel is not a great tool. If an item is ranked 500, if you find an item ranked 500, just buy all you can find, because you're going to be selling several hundred of them a month. 10 to 20 a day usually is being sold. So the lower ranked item, this item is ranked 227,000. That's something that you might be worried about. So I just copied the ASIN. We're going to post it into Keepa. Okay. We're going to go to all. It only has sales rank in the middle of February is when they started doing sales rank. So I guess it was the 1st of February. So if we go to 3 months, this is the sales rank. Now, the good thing about Keepa is it shows you the price and sales rank on the same chart. So you can see if there's a movement in sales rank at a certain price. Now here it's had $20 the whole time. Now it's only going by the lowest price. So the lowest price is often merchant fulfilled. So you really can't get a judge of the FBA price, but you can see how often it's selling. Now, Camel, Keepa, they're all the same. There's only one way for a rank to go down. It continuously goes up until somebody buys something. When somebody buys something, the rank's going to go down. So as you can see here, rank was going up until it got to this point, June 26th. It went from 500,000 down to 167,000. That's one sale. and then there was another sale here. So basically, in the last 3 months, it's had 2 sales. Not a great product. So if we can find another example, in the hopefully 50 or 60,000 rank. Ketchup packets, this is a good rank to use as an example. 22,000 is the rank for this. So if we copy the ASIN, go over back to Keepa. You see a lot of movement. So if we go in the last month, the reason that there's spikes and it's not gradually, the only way that these websites like Keeper, Camel, or Price Zombie, they will go and look at every single Amazon page in a certain, every 3 days or every 1 day or every couple hours. It depends on what the rank is and how fast it's selling. So as you can see here, it was 56,000 and it grew up to 74,000, and then there was a sale. Whenever it was, July 14th, there was a sale, and then it went back up, and there was another sale on July 27th. So you're getting 2 sales a month, 1 sale every 2 weeks. And as you can see, sales rank is just, a moment in time. They're just taking a snapshot of, rank at a certain time. So if we would have looked at this, only 2 or 3 days ago, the rank could have been as high as 66,000. There was a sale a couple days ago, so it dropped down to 17,000. Now it's back up to 22,000. So at 17 or 22,000, it's more desirable than it was just a few days ago at 66,000. So you can see it's only getting a couple sales a month. If you look at the 3 months, we can, count a better judge. There's 1 sale here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you've had 9 sales at least in 3 months. So, one of these big drop-offs might be 2 or 3 sales. Somebody could have bought 3, or 3 people could have bought 1, and you'll get, you're still going to have about the same drop, because, it's taking a picture of what the rank is, and then it takes another picture of what the rank is. So you can figure you're getting about 3 sales a month of this product. But like I said, 17 or 20, 22,000 is not, a good judge of 3 sales a month, but, it keeps going up to the 50 to 70,000 rank. And like I said, you can look at any date and you can see how much it's selling for at that rank. So you can judge what kind of price you need. If the price is fluctuating, at $50, a box of ketchup might not be worth it, but it is worth it at $12. So you find something with a high rank, you can historically look at that data and see if maybe if you drop the price, you might be increasing the sales. Okay, I hope that answers some questions on using Keepa.
Yeah. All right. So we can go in order here. What Chris wants to know, what do you believe is the best first hire to make? That's kind of off the box of but we'll get back into it. Let's just get that out of the way real quick. So best
first hire as in, an employee to help you. I think the best thing to do is to hire somebody to, pack and ship, clean your labels, whatever prepping you need.
You can say me.
I still do all the sourcing myself. You know, I'm able to buy in bigger volume. So, you know, I still go to yard sales and flea markets and thrift stores, and we still buy a lot of books and a lot of, you know, products that you find at thrift stores.
So Chris, if you have anything else that, if that wasn't what you were referring to, just add it into the chat. But so for Karen, is there a list of restricted brands of grocery items? Is there like a list to find?
We posted in the private group a, you know, a list of all the restricted brands. There is no official list from Amazon. Amazon will not tell you, you know, anything that's restricted. If you send them a message, they tell you there is no list. If you use the seller app and only the seller app, none of the other scanning software, Inventory Lab or Scan Power, Profit Bandit, nothing can tell you what is restricted because it's linked to your account. So they don't put that data out into the merchant API if it's restricted, because it's on a case-by-case basis. So the only thing you can do is, you know, be logged in with your seller app into the account you want to know about, and you know, scan or search for a product, and it will tell you, you know, it's restricted in you know, in these conditions, which is usually it'll say new, used, you know, refurbished, you know, and there's some other ones based on the category it's in. So if it tells you it's restricted in everything, then you can't sell it. You know, there's not a lot of grocery items that are restricted. Most of the issues with grocery is, you know, people like Dunkin' Donuts that are suing people for, you know, using their intellectual property, or, you know, a lot of other ridiculous excuses. So, you know, the bigger issue with grocery is somebody suing you, you know, for selling the product, and not, you know, you selling something restricted. Because if you send in a restricted item, it's just going to be unfulfillable. And if you open a case, they're going to say, well, that item's restricted. So you're not going to get in trouble. You'll never be able to sell an item that's restricted. You know, of course, you are stuck with that product at the Amazon warehouse, and you have to pay to do something with it. But, you know, you're not going to be suspended for selling it. It's just, you know, you're not allowed to sell it. So if it gets there, it's just, it'll never be fulfillable.
Right. Okay, Rita has a really good question. So what is do's and don'ts in Q4 for those who just know kind of about liquidation and wholesale? So which one would you suggest is better to spend your money on, more RAOA or liquidation wholesale?
Well, I'm always, you know, investigating all the best liquidation deals, because that's the biggest ROI. I mean, you know, I find so many products that, you know, I can make 10 times my money or more on. So, you know, why give that up for an item, you know, to make 50 to 100% return on?
Right.
Now, you know, there's a little more to it than that, but, you know, we do watch all the sales. You know, there's tons of deals. There's tons of, you know, buy one, get one free for Q4 and Black Friday. I don't usually go out on Black Friday, you know, Black Thursday, I guess now, but we go out on Black Friday and do great. You know, all the people from Thursday are already gone. We get up and we go out Friday morning, and you know, I don't really mess with electronics, but you know, I go to places like Toys R Us, and you know, we bought hundreds of those diapers that looked like Santa Claus, for example, last year and the year before, that were on sale for something like $5, and they were selling for $20 to $30. And every Toys R Us, we hit like 6 different Toys R Us, and they all still had shelves full of that, and you know, plenty of other products. We didn't have any problem, you know, filling up. Everybody wants the loss leaders that you know, they're using just to get the people in the door. But you know, there's tons of money to be made in other things, and all the way through Q4, and then the clearance sales after Christmas. You know, we did buy a lot of toys. I think it amounted for maybe 30% of our sales for the year. But we do buy toys all year. We find liquidation toys, and whenever we look for everything. So there's no reason to go to a store and skip a certain section just because you're looking for grocery. If you're already at Walmart, you might as well look at their toys and look at health and personal care and beauty, and whatever you can get a deal on. So I don't say, well, I need to buy 30% from one place, and neglect the other one. I go and find the best deals, that I can sell at a reasonable pace. So don't limit yourself, and don't force yourself to spend. That's some of the biggest problems in this business, is people that are either limiting themselves to certain categories. If you're approved in it, you should be trying to sell it. Don't waste your time driving to 10 different stores when you could spend all your money in one store. The other problem is people forcing themselves to buy, saying, well, I need to buy $100 today, or I need to buy $1,000 worth of stuff. Buy all you can afford. What I choose to do is spend my money as fast as I possibly can, so I can get it there and sell it. So if I spread it out over 2 weeks, it's going to take a month to get it. So if I buy $100 every day, and I get, I'm still buying $100 almost to my paycheck again, I'm losing money, because if I spent all that money in 1 or 2 days, I could ship it to Amazon, sell at least part of that, and the next payout be getting some of my money from my investment back. If you hold it back and wait till the end, then you're going to wait at least another payout to get that money. So some of the best advice is just to spend it as fast as you can. I'd rather have no money for a week, because I know I'm going to be getting a good portion of what I spent back on my very next payout.
Leading into that, or another one into that, is Adrienne posted in the group how you structure your product ratios, for example.
Right, that's what I
one
just.
person. Oh.
That's what I was commenting on. I don't worry about product ratios. I don't want to buy one product, and neglect another. I don't say I'm only going to spend 40% on liquidation. I buy whatever the best deals are, and I get them as quick as I can.
Right, and hers was per quarter. Like, do you spend more of one category in quarter one? Do you focus on like grocery, and in quarter four?
No, like I said, it really depends on where the deals are. If you're buying at retail, certain times of the year are going to find certain things. You're going to find a lot of spices on sale, in the summertime, because, they're pushing cooking out. So if you're buying spices at the grocery store, you're also going to buy your meat there. So, there's lots of sales and that kind of thing. When you get to quarter four, there's a lot of sales on toys. So we do buy a lot more toys in quarter four, but that's only because there's better deals on it. It's not worth buying in the summertime, the toys that are worth buying then. So I'm not moving my money into toys. I'm just buying what there's the best deal on.
All right. So Billy posted in group that he's been hearing a lot about account terminations and suspensions, anything to watch out for. I think we covered that pretty much.
No, we really haven't talked about suspensions tonight.
What was that?
I said we really haven't talked about suspensions. We need to wrap this up, though we've already been on here an hour.
Yeah.
So, I'll touch on suspensions. I've had my account suspended before. Some of the best people in, sell on Amazon and have services help me get reinstated. So basically the best thing you can do is respond to messages as fast as you can. They track all that information. I believe it's under 12 hours and over 12 hours, but they track it to the minute, how many minutes it takes. So even if someone sends you a message and you're at home and you have a warehouse and you got to go look at it, or, respond to them as quick as you can. if you got a smartphone, which everyone should, put that on, respond to that message right there. Even if you don't know, if you're having dinner, just send them a quick note and, say it's after business hours right now, but we'll look into that as soon as we can, or they're having a shipping problem, or, just respond to those messages as quick as you can, and, keep your metrics up, get every negative removed that you can. We've had almost everyone we've ever had. We only have a handful that haven't. And delete every listing that's not active. Go into manage inventory, not manage FBA, but the regular manage inventory. Change it to 250, and every week we do it now. We sort by the least amount of the least amount available, which will be 0, and we delete all the zeros. If you list it, you're just going to have to use an FNSKU again. All the actual listings are still on Amazon. Just your entry for that is gone. So you can relist that as many times as you want. One other question: do we sell used items from thrift stores or only new? What rank do we look for in books? Do you FBA your books? I know you have to use the FBA calculator to watch the weight costs. An FBA of hundreds of high school library books I got for free. So, we do sell some used items from thrift stores. We buy, all the board games, for example, that we can find that are worth, maybe $30 or more. And I have somebody check the contents later. We put a little Post-it note of what's missing. Then we go on to eBay, or usually we just wait until we find another one, and then we put the pieces together. We've done really good. We've sold used board games for hundreds of dollars. Books, anything that's not an FBA, we buy. I recently bought one of the PDA setups with a seller tool. This thing's amazing. The second you hit the button, it comes up with the information. There's a laser scanner on top, just like the Bluetooth ones. And, I can go through thousands of books in no time. We FBA all the books. We do have a lot of merchant fulfilled items now, but it's things we bought by the pallet, maybe from a drugstore, and then there was hazmat items in it. So that's the only thing we merchant fulfill is items that are hazmat. And we FBA all our books, of course. We buy everything, if it's 50 cents and selling for $19 and it's ranked 5 million, we're still probably going to buy it. Anything that's not an FBA, we buy, no matter what the rank is. If there's no FBA sellers, we buy it. And if, there's a lot of things at thrift stores we can't buy. I have somebody who works for me that sells on eBay for me. He takes 40%, we get 60%. He does all the work, pays for the supplies, pays for the feed, and we do nothing. So, we get a small amount for him, but it's mostly, FBA items that we're looking for there. We don't sell the DVDs, but, there's tons of CDs there. There's tons of books there, board games, and believe it or not, there's a lot of stuff donated that are, brand new, still in the package, that was never opened. So, we find a lot. We find a lot there. I routinely spend well over $100 at a thrift store, and usually at least a couple dozen books we find. Okay, so we're going to have to wrap it up now. Good. If anybody has any more questions or needs me to expand on anything, or go over it in the group. And thanks for coming. And